Hello everybody, we'll welcome you back. This is Marcy and I'm here with Marlo.
How you doing?
And how you today? You doing good?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing alright, not too bad at all. Very blessed. Today we're going to talk about wisdom, finding wisdom.
Wisdom, finding wisdom, being wise.
Being wise. Not just being a smart aleck wise, we're talking about true wisdom.
Just and true wisdom and, wisdom that you've learned on the way from parents, grandparents, and your journey with God and
I think so many times people think
else.
of wisdom as, geniuses, that they just kind of misinterpret the fact of being wise as you're very educated or you're really, really smart. Wisdom is not about education or anything like that. It is, general wisdom. Like you said, you learn along the way.
Yeah.
Things you've picked up from family as you've grown.
Right from wrong.
Right from wrong. Crossing the street, look both ways. Pretty wise choice. Proverbs 4:5-7. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. I'll get it out. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Here in Proverbs, they talk about wisdom as her. That is, when he refers to forsake her not, they're referring to wisdom.
So, wisdom's a girl. That's what
wisdom's a girl. In the story they're telling, it is. They're referring to it as her. Which makes women wise, right? Is that the...
Yeah.
I'm reaching. Okay, so you're getting wisdom, getting understanding. Forget it not. And that's an important thing. The wisdom that you learn may not seem important. Little lessons when you learn them.
Yeah, probably at that time it may not.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, I know, thinking back to things that my grandparents, my stepdad, and et cetera, I may not got it then, but I tell you what, now it's all clicking together.
I get it now. And those times you wish you could go back. I remember my grandmother telling story after story after story. And when I was a kid, I did not want to hear them. And now I remember like bits and pieces of things that she told me and what I would give now for that time to go back and hear the stories. And really pay attention to the lessons from the things that she taught. And I think that's important, is to take the time to listen to things.
Nowadays we have life lessons. And life lessons, when life hits you, it hits you.
Isn't that the truth? Our life lessons back then was you be home at a certain time. That was your life lesson. Now it's a whole nother ball game. But in the Proverbs, and this is something we talked about here earlier, everyone should go and read Proverbs. It's a wonderful story. It took us a little bit of reading through it ourselves to get the gist of what happens. It is a father, though, telling a story to his son, and it tells it from both sides. From wisdom and against it, evil and good. And he's telling this as a lesson to his son. And that it's a really interesting chapter and book to go through, his Proverbs. I think everyone should go back and read it. But 2 Corinthians 1:12, for our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and godly sincerity, not with fleshly wisdom, but by the grace of God, we have had our conversion in this world, and more abundantly to you ward. And here they're just talking about how you get a lot of worldly wisdom, but with worldly wisdom comes a lot of worldly sins,
worldly attachments,
worldly everything, and you can't put your faith in the worldly, the fleshly, worldly things.
And that part right there, I don't mean to cut you off, but that part right there, the worldly sins, worldly, your flesh things. Those things right there are the ones that you need to learn from. Satan try to keep us trapped in that right there. Put us in that little bubble of the worldly sins and all the things that we're not supposed to be doing, and he keeps us focused on those things. But what happens is you lose sight of God. You lose touch with God and everything that's godly. You forget where you came from and where you're supposed to be going.
Yeah.
So it's important to realize what's going on in your life, around your life, not just yours, the people around you. Sometimes you're going to have to use that wisdom and walk away from the people who are making those wrong choices, in that bubble of sin. That bubble of sin is going to keep you in that bubble. And when it's time to go home, you're going to be in that bubble.
Ain't nobody going to pop that bubble but you. You're not getting out of it unless you do. And you're talking about the worldly sins, and so many of the worldly fleshly things are physical items, monetary things, and it's a fine line. It really is, because it's not a sin to have things, to enjoy things that you have. It's a sin when you come to the point that you aren't content without them, when you feel like you have to have them to be happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to have more of this. I have to have this, a bigger that, a better. Oh, I have to keep up with this person, that person. And that's where the wisdom comes in of deciding. There is that fine line that you cross. And it all comes from the wisdom of, look back in the days. My grandparents talk about, they would always talk about different things about how good times were. The times weren't good. They lived through the Depression. They lived through World War II. When you look at it from that standpoint, you think, times weren't good. You people scraped to live. You scraped to have food.
But that's not what she was talking about.
Those weren't the things that mattered.
Yeah.
So you have to really pay attention to those.
Well, and then ask yourself and use wisdom. What matters to you? What matters to you?
That's it. It's an internal question. It really is. You have to go inside and find that for yourself. Job 12:12. With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. Simply stated, we grow more wise and understand more as we age.
Yeah.
You learn as you go. It's the same things. Your parents tried to teach you. You try to teach your kids roll their eyes at you. They don't listen either. It's that constant battle.
Mm-hmm.
But you gain more yourself with age and more understanding for things. I have a lot different understanding of the things around me than I ever had.
And that's why parents, as we're aging and we're growing a little more wiser and whatnot, we still have that obligation to teach children, teach people younger than us. We're all here to still help each other, despite of what they're trying to feed you. We are here to help each other. We are all God's children. We need to help each other, grow each other.
Yeah. And the thing is, it seems like kids don't listen. We didn't listen. There's things that, you didn't pay attention to. But at some point in your life, it hits you. Every one of us. Oh, that's what Grandma was talking about. Or that's what Dad told me. Oh, I get it now. Those lessons will be learned. They will get something from what you told them at some point.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean, don't bother telling them because they're not going to pay attention. They get part of it. We all do. It just takes a little time for some of them to sink in. Yeah. All right.
And so you continue to pray and hope that it sticks a little bit quicker than it looked like it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Just continue to pray.
hope that when they're rolling their eyes, they're just using that to file it away for a later time.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is it for us, I guess, and we appreciate you guys joining us. We have an email down below if you'd like to contact us for anything. We also have a Facebook group we'd love for you to join. Links down below in the description box. And I think that's it for us. You guys have a wonderfully blessed day, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.